Hey everybody, this is Matt from AwesomeToyBlog. I am here at San Diego Comic-Con of all places and the Hasbro booth, and I'm talking to BMac and Evan of the Transformers brand. And yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's talk about some robots.
Let's do it.
Do you want to start with what you showed today, or like just general ease in sort of, you know?
I mean, what do you want to do? We'll follow your lead.
All right. Well, let's start with some, let's start with some background questions.
Okay.
So legacy.
All right.
A little bit of a multiverse of Transformers. So you're picking characters from Prime, from G1, from Animated, and they're all hanging out together. What challenges have you found as we're in the second or third? Second year of the line, sort of bringing those different aesthetics together and making them feel unique, but still together.
Interesting. That's more a you question.
It is an interesting question. I guess design cohesion. A lot of times,
that's the professional way.
Yeah.
To say what I asked.
a lot of times when Mark and I always talk about how do you complete micro collections and things like that. So when things get seeded in, we have to make sure that we're also completing those collections. But I guess to your question on why we choose those characters, when we're laying out a year, we're always trying to make sure that there's a unique mix of alternate modes and like robot mode silhouettes, so that they stand out next to each other on a shelf. It's like, oh, hey, I want to do a motorcycle. Well, we haven't done this motorcycle in a while, and we know that Prowl is a popular character. Why don't we try this? So that's sort of kind of how we landed there for introducing some of the animated universe stuff into Legacy and things like that.
But do you find any challenges in, say, taking an animated
Oh,
figure
absolutely.
and
Yeah.
but then having it stand next to a Prime figure and having them look like they belong?
Yes, it is all like G1, or I guess generation styling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's always what we try to hit, where everything can live together on shelf. Because even though like Studio Series 86 is its own thing, it can it can stay on shelf next to Generations and Legacy.
Yes.
And we always try to find that balance. And I think we do a pretty good job.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, we're trying our best, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, the first ones that came out year one, there were people that didn't like what we did to Bulkhead and RC, but I think we kind of we kind of hit it a little better this year for everybody. They felt a little more
They had the personality.
universal. Yeah, they were all there, right? So.
Yeah.
Speaking Studio Series.
Okay.
All right. So today you guys showed the first Commander class Studio Series.
Yep.
And of course that was a City Commander, Ultra Magnus.
Yep.
So you can take his limbs apart.
Yes, you can.
And recreate his death.
Yes, you can.
I'd like to ask, what's with this trend of Transformers that you feel reliving our past trauma?
I have a very morbid sense of humor. So does BMac.
I do. So, like, when the Death Scene 2-pack that came out earlier, right,
Yes.
that was revealed before the Ultra Magnus, Evan was kind of joking with me, and I was like, wait, we can do this for real? Like, let's do this. This seems like a great exclusive. And then, like, when we were further developing the line, we knew we were going to do Ultra Magnus, and I'm like, he's going to blow apart, right? Like, can he come with a little glue accessory? Like,
Oh, there you go.
so, like, we were trying to, like, do everything. So it's not, like, I joke all the time, like we all have childhood trauma, have to go to therapy. Thanks to Flint, who hosted the panel, I was like, why'd you have to kill Optimus Prime? So, yeah, it's just a lot of, fun.
It comes down to Studio Series is about recreating those iconic moments. And since, yes,
He got better.
what is more iconic than the death scene of a character? But also, we're doing the Junkions in Legacy, and we wanted to be able to tie it together so that you could pose the Junkions rebuilding him and things like that.
So now on the Prowl and Ironhide 2-pack, I have to know, at some point, was there a little orange puff of dust accessory that comes out of Prowl's mouth that got nixed because of cost?
Well, okay, we actually went back and forth with Takara Tomyon if we would make him completely gray, or and give him the golden orange glowing eyes of death, but they very calmly wrote back, please don't, please just do traditional deco. And we were just like, yeah, that probably seems better, so we're gonna do that.
Because I mean,
that'd be fun.
they're sad,
Yeah.
but they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Like that was an instant buy, because I was like, I can't believe that they're.
It was funny, like, when it kind of leaked right before we were going to announce it, too, right? I was, like, sad because I wanted to own that reveal. But at the same time, I'm like, this is fun to read people that are like, there's no way they're actually making this. There's no way. Like, I have a good friend, and he's like, there's no way. And I'm like, I can't tell you anything, but, like, and then it came out, he goes, you did this for real. And I'm like, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, no, they are awesome. And I'm glad to see the Ultra Magnus all be able to dismember.
It's perfect.
Time of action features in that Ultra Magnus.
He does.
Right?
I don't even think I covered everything.
I don't
but
think we did.
Yeah.
Well, what did you not hit on that is worth mentioning?
He's got light piping in the eyes.
Like piping eyes.
I know that some people noticed the joints that he uses to break apart. It's actually the same combining mechanism that we use for Menasor.
Okay.
However, it's reversed. You can combine him with Menasor, but you end up creating an abomination when you do that,
Okay.
just from the way that it works. But some fans might find that funny.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
everything a bit fun.
Yeah.
And you can carry 3 deluxes.
He can
and a
carry
core
3.
class.
Yep, 3 deluxe carbots and 1 core class. Yeah.
All right. No white prime.
No white prime.
So, and it's like, it's truly Ultra Magnus. Stays together when you transform them.
Yep.
You're not
It
gonna
converts.
lose an
Yeah.
arm in the living room.
Nope, not at all. You don't have to take apart. The only thing you take off are the missiles.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
that's
which
all
is
right.
to
I mean,
be
I
expected.
would take those off too. If I
But
was
at this
getting into
point,
it.
when Tomo-san and I were working on it, we were actually looking at. There were sketches that the animation house did on how the characters should convert. And they were like 6-panel quick sketches, and we based his conversion off those sketches. So he essentially converts by like standing up, turning around, exactly like he would in the animation.
Yeah, almost as if in those early ads.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of how it works. He kind of stood up and then unfolded.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Masterpiece figure, which
Okay.
was one of my favorite masterpieces that
Great
Takara Tomy.
masterpiece.
Yeah,
That
because
was
it's so
gorgeous.
solid and
Yeah.
chunky. It's so much fun to play
And
with.
it's so different than the G1. So it's so
Yes.
different than the previous Ultra Magnus experiences.
Yes.
Like that robot in disguise Ultra Magnus. Looks fantastic either way.
Are we talking about 2001?
Yes.
Yeah, with stilt legs?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
looks great as a robot.
Yeah,
Looks great as a car trailer.
yeah.
Anything in between, all over the room.
He's a parts former too, because
Right.
it's like legs
And all
take
those
off.
panels
And,
that
yeah.
are,
Yeah.
the masterpiece was just so clean. So the fact that that's where some inspiration came from
Yeah.
means that this is, has to be a win.
I think so. We're going to have him on display tomorrow morning if you
Okay.
want to come by and check him out.
I come
Once
here a
the-
lot.
Yeah.
We'll put all the stuff that we revealed today that we
Yeah.
have samples of to put out. So
Cool. So let's see here. What other?
It's all good.
Let's see. All right. So the Walmart exclusive crazy color figures.
yeah,
The Toxitron capsule?
Yeah. So were there drugs involved in choosing the colors?
I think in 1989 maybe that was possible.
I'm assuming.
I'm
that
assuming.
was the 80s.
Yeah, it was the end of the 80s, so people were
Yeah.
partying pretty hard.
Yeah.
Toxitron was just something that the fandom had made. Essentially, we were like, oh, we can lean into this. And then, we have the Art Legacy book, and they
Yep.
were revealed at the 1989 Tokyo Toy Fair, and then just never came to be. So, we were looking
they're
at...
fantastic.
Yeah.
Don't take my comment.
Oh,
as
no,
an
no, no, no,
insult.
no.
No, of
They
course
are
not.
gorgeous toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've heard a lot of feedback from people like, hey, I really love G2, which was kind of interesting to start with. And I really like G2 personally, and I just think those were fun. And
Yeah.
it was an easy, cohesive story to tell, and with good named characters that people
Yep.
asked for. So I was
Yeah.
like, let's do it. And Mark came up with it, and we just ran with it.
Yep.
Another one, he joked about the death scene. Mark kind of joked about this, and I was like, no, this is awesome.
Well,
Let's do it.
if you're gonna do it, right, you have to do it.
Yes.
Right, you can't have a G2 homage line and have any muted colors.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It has to be 100%.
Exactly.
And I would say like that Gator Mirage, that's 100%.
Watermelon Mirage.
Yeah,
where,
it's my favorite.
That
Yeah,
bright,
it's
that,
amazing.
burnt orange jazz.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna look great with the Fire Guts Mirage,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's a pair. They can
Yeah.
go out and be like, "Hey, we're pals, we match."
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I love what you're doing there. When you get the collections with the retail partner, do you think this is a chance to do something we can't do anywhere else, or kind of how does sort of this concept come together?
We
It
always
is- yeah.
kind of try to tell a story, right? When
Yeah.
we do, at least where we can. So Amazon, all pre-war comic capsule, we tried to wrap it all together. It makes sense. Like the first 2 boxes of the 2-packs have all the other 3 characters are hidden in the artwork if you're paying attention. So we just want to tell a cohesive story. So for this, the story was bright, crazy neon colors. We knew the 90s are in. I was like, I think
Which
this will,
is weird,
I think
but-
this will sit on shelf, and people will
No.
just be interested and drawn to it just because of its color. And look, whether they like Transformers or not, they're walking by and it's set up, and
I
you're
mean,
just
it
like, what is
stands
that
out.
box?
I'm
So
not gonna miss it.
yeah,
Exactly.
It was just trying to tell story, right? So if you took any one of those and just put them in Legacy Evolution for the year, they would look out of place. If you look across the shelf,
Yeah.
you put Mirage in there, he wouldn't belong with the rest of everything we did.
No, he would stand out a bit
Yeah.
unless you're colorblind.
Yeah. Benny might look really cool.
Actually, yeah. I mean, but no, those are fantastic. It is sort of similar to the Bumblebee collection at Target, where those are all specifically the Cybertronian versions, where you've done
The origins, yeah.
Yes, you've done right. You've got Bumblebee. We've got Jazz.
Jazz.
We have a wheel Jazz.
There's maybe something coming.
Okay, that's good. All right, that answers where I was trying to lead. So stay tuned to Target is what you're saying. And things
Possibly,
that might be,
yeah.
I mean, maybe
We might have like a 40th anniversary that might have been like an original episode of G1 with a character in it.
You can already make that out of the Siege one, I think. Yeah, that was the hidden mode that was on the side.
Mode,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you can have your sound waves.
He just doesn't have the thin stick legs, but yeah.
Yeah.
One other thing that's sort of, I don't want to say come up, but you talked about in the past year in roundtables and stuff, is the idea of like a pre-mold, where you kind of say, okay, we're going to do this character now, but we're going to be smart and include parts so we can do a remold of it later, but tool it efficiently.
Yeah.
So when you are doing that, do you always have a home for the second figure, or are you just thinking strategic, like, well, this is a great opportunity to do blank, I'm going to just do it and we'll find a place for it later?
Yes and no, because sometimes it does end up working out. It depends on when the figure is developed, because maybe it comes in like a wave 3. There's no time to then get the next one in wave 4, so maybe it will come next year at some point. So something like that, but usually, yes. We always try to plan ahead and kind of be smart about our molds, just for tooling efficiency.
Well, I mean, 'cause some of them are obvious. Like, hey, this is a great
Ratchet, Ironhide, yeah.
In fact, I think today we may have seen an opportunity for that with the Shattered Glass Science Park.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, kind of looking at him, I'm like, you really look like someone who I used to know about 20 years ago. Right? And so sort of, when something like that shows up, is it safe to assume that that figure has a spot, or just maybe something?
I mean, I'm never going to stop you from assuming anything, so...
Yeah. I mean, we look at it all, right? Like, it's trying to plan. We're trying to be efficient. There's clearly stuff we want to make, but we can't guarantee it's always going to come out. Like, we have a plan, but things change, so...
So do you have a bunch of just heads on spurs that will never have a home?
Few. The heads are usually baked into the molds with the characters already.
Okay.
I guess that's how I'll put it. So they're in there, they're ready to be used. We usually have a plan.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't, but we'll plan for the future.
Yeah, like Galaxy Shuttle, like we talked about this on the roundtable, I think, where Mark brought it up on a fan stream. He actually found it. Like, we were looking for things to do for redecos, and he went through, and John Warden, who's actually here this weekend, he put the head in the mold, and none of us knew because we weren't on the brand when he did it in the Astro Train mold for Siege. And we were just like, oh, we can make Galaxy Shuttle. It plays in perfectly with Victory. People are on that. Like, we have to make it.
But it's even like a step further than that, because we have mold plans, which are like images of the individual pieces. And in Astro Train, there's just like a black stamp that just says Alt Head. And so
you didn't know what was
we
there
didn't know. So what Mark did is he tracked down the gray model and he found the alternate head, and he's like, "Oh, it's Galaxy Shuttle." So sometimes we have to do a little digging, especially for some of the older molds that none of us worked on.
Yeah.
But usually, even the designers back then baked in alternate heads.
Very smart.
Yeah.
And really kind of gives the opportunity for some really cool characters that otherwise may not have a chance.
Exactly. Yeah.
And speaking of characters that don't have a chance, in the Titan range, past 2 years, you've kind of done something super fresh, and you have made new characters.
Oh yeah,
right. Because when we watched the cartoon, I'll say I never thought that the ship that the Autobots were in was actually a robot itself, and same with Nemesis. Hey, how fun is it to sort of say, hey, why don't we blank and get to do something where people don't have preconceived notions of what, Fortress Maximus has to be blank.
Yes,
if it doesn't have blank, these guys suck and I hate them, and I'm going to go online and type it.
Yep.
How freeing is it to do something that doesn't have those preconceived notions?
It's very fun. I did not work on any of those.
Yeah.
Actually, Lenny did the Arc, who's over here for G.I. Joe, and then Sam Smith, our manager, he did Nemesis.
Okay.
But even then, we're talking about iconic ships and iconic shapes that are a part of them.
Yes.
So you always have to make sure that you nail that.
Yeah.
And then the robot mode for the Arc, it's like, we're going to take inspiration from the last Autobot. And then in that same vein, we took inspiration from like the Decepticon logo in Nemesis. So it is very freeing, and it's fun to do like unique explorations of those characters as well. I guess that's
No,
a
yeah,
question. Yeah.
No, I mean that just seems like a great opportunity.
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
fresh.
Yeah, Arc was tied to entertainment, so we had a little direction. Like we knew we
Yeah.
were going to do it in the show, so we're like, we're going to make the toy, and like
Yep.
we helped develop that. And then we were like, when it came out, we knew we needed to clearly make the Nemesis at some point. Yeah, we had the year off in between, but it was super fun to like make this and also make the first female Titan in
That's
history.
for sure,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to ask because I know better. But will Titans be continuing? Should we expect another one? Maybe not next year, but in the future.
I certainly hope so.
I hope so. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
always like we're trying to like keep making dream projects as best we can.
Because they really are a impressive centerpiece of a collection. They really tower over everything else in a way that nothing else does.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's all of my questions. I think you guys are really nailing Legacy.
Happy to hear that.
Thank
So,
you.
this is not a commitment. I'm not asking for any spoilers, but let's just say it's the last wave. You get to pick one figure other than Sea Spread.
They know you too
Because I
well.
knew that was going to be the answer, so I'm going
It's
to
fair,
take
it's fair.
the obvious one away. You get any one wish list character to put in that last wave. This is not a commitment. This doesn't mean it's coming the same.
Like anything from any entertainment.
Anything from any entertainment, any previous line, you get one. No one can veto it. Anything. What do you choose?
I might go with a comic book character then.
All right.
Like one that hasn't. I might go with someone like Pharma from the IDW comics, who's just like an evil medic,
All right.
because he could be a lot of fun to do. I think I would do something like that.
All right.
I
Nice.
kind of think so. For me, I might go Kaon because I don't think I'm ever gonna get to make an electric chair toy.
Oh man!
And I'm
yeah.
just like, you know, we have
Yeah.
Tarn and people are in love with Tarn. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I want to do more of these. And I'm like, I think an electric chair transformer would be a lot of fun. I
That
think
would
I
be
might,
fun,
you know, get
yeah.
yelled at for it, but that would be a character
mean,
that I
no
would
one
love
can
to do.
veto it, right? That was
Yeah.
the rules,
That
right?
Yeah.
was the rules. Yeah.
Honestly, if I had to say,
Yeah.
and this you'll love what you can do with this one, Circuit Breaker.
You want to talk to the Marvel Legends team?
No,
Because-
no.
Okay.
Turn, like make her nightmares come true. She's
Turn
turned
her
into
into one?
Turn her into one.
Oh, jeez.
So
Okay.
there you go. Toss a Circuit Breaker in the line.
That could be interesting.
Living nightmare for her, but still it'd be a cool figure.
That would be a cool figure. There's a licensing issue there.
No,
but that's
I'm
a
sure
very
no,
cool
no
idea.
one can veto.
Nobody can veto.
Fantasy world
Yeah.
here, but right? 'Cause
Yeah.
that would be, like, nothing
What would you-
worse than torture.
What would you have her turn into, out of curiosity? Like, because
Oh, I can't. I don't want to
It's
say
like-
that. It's gonna get me in trouble.
because it's like if we go back to like Blackstone made a bunch of like weapons and war machines.
Yeah,
I wonder.
think maybe something. Yeah, it's got to be something destructive
Yeah,
because she wasn't a warm, happy person.
not by the end of it. No.
No. Yeah, probably like some sort of tank, or like maybe like a little rocket.
Something.
sort
She
of
did
armature.
fly around a
She
lot.
flew around a lot.
Yeah,
But yeah, just a weapon of mass destruction. Is where I go with.
that's an interesting
Big
idea.
old, big old armored up DEFCON.
Oh, maybe.
There you go.
Yeah.
Flies around, have fun, right?
Yeah.
Well, with that, BMac, Evan, it's a pleasure as always.
Always.
It was a pleasure. Yeah.
Keep making cool robots, and
Thank
I'll
you.
keep buying them.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you. That's great. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.